Hi everyone, Joe here. I'm here for my weekly legislative update, and I want to start this legislative update with a huge thank you to everyone who showed up for my Shoreham office hours listening session that I had at the Platt Memorial Library this morning from 10 to noon. It was a really great session. I had a number of people there and we talked about a bunch of different issues. We talked about climate change issues. We talked about schools and education and how we're going to be working on that. We talked about right to repair, which is a bill that I'll be co-sponsoring. We talked about housing. We talked about open meetings. So really great conversations around that. And so if you weren't able to attend, that's okay, because there's another one happening, and it's happening next Saturday. It's going to be from 1 to 3 at the Whiting Town Hall, and you don't have to come for the entire time. I mean, come for 5 minutes, come for 2 hours. It's whatever works best for you, and we can chat about what's going on in the legislature. I can answer your questions about bills, talk to you about ideas that you may have that maybe we could make into bills. So it was a really great session here at Shoreham today, and I hope that if you weren't able to come, even if you don't live in Whiting, you're welcome to come to Whiting, welcome to come to the town hall. Again, that's going to be this coming Saturday, a week from today, at the Whiting Town Hall, 1 to 3 p.m. And that said, there's another thing that I want to bring up that came out of that Shoreham session, which is that people are really interested in Robert's Rules of Order, which is something that I've been studying for most of my life as a lawyer, and just someone who is interested in how meetings are run. And so I'm currently putting together a Robert's Rules of Order workshop to be offered at the Platt Memorial Library, probably sometime in February. Things haven't been finalized yet, but we're working on finalizing that. And when it happens, I will post about it on social media. If you're interested, give me a shout. Send me an email, send me a message, whatever it might be. Give me a call, and I'll let you know when that's happening. So just going to be teaching the basics so we can all be ready for town meeting day and understanding how Robert's Rules of Order works. I'm thinking of calling the town meeting tune-up. Maybe that doesn't work. I don't know. But just an idea that I had there. So what's going on under the dome this week? At least for me, it's been sitting in the healthcare committee, and that's really what I want to talk about, is how awesome the healthcare committee is. We have an incredible group of folks around that table who care deeply about healthcare in Vermont and want to try to make it better. We have providers there. We have people who are nurses. We have people who are mental health professionals. We have people who care about how healthcare is becoming more and more unaffordable in Vermont. And while it's becoming more and more unaffordable, it's feeling like to all of us that's also becoming harder and harder to access, and that we're having a harder time of getting the quality care that we need. And so, it's so great to be sitting around that table with people who get it, people who care, people who want to see that change. And I just love my fellow committee members. And I really wanted to give a shout out to our chair, Lori, who is doing an incredible job as chair of the healthcare committee. What Lori's done is she has set up in our first 2 weeks of our agenda. We're not regulating the healthcare system in the first 2 weeks of our agenda. What we're doing is we're learning. We are bringing in the experts from every aspect of the healthcare system in Vermont to teach us about their aspect of it so we understand it before we start taking up bills where we're going to have to be regulating it. I mean, how can you regulate something without understanding it first? How can you have a debate? How can you have a discussion? How can you discuss laws if you don't understand the thing first? And Lori has said, what we're doing in these first weeks is we are going to understand. We are going to talk to the experts. We are going to see what has been done in the past. So we're building on what's happening rather than just, stepping in and without knowing what's going on, just trying to change it. And we all know what happens when people try to do that. So major shout out to Lori for setting up the agenda for the first 2 weeks like that. And major shout out to all the people who have come before us already. We had the chair of the Green Mountain Care Board there just yesterday. I mean, the chair of the board is sitting there answering our questions, giving a presentation about what they do. We had the healthcare advocate for the state telling us about his work. We've had our legislative counsel, or the lawyers that work for the Vermont legislature and therefore work for you, who told us about, what are some bills that happened in the past several years so we could understand that landscape. We also had our joint fiscal office people, and they're the economists and numbers people who are able to tell us about costs and financial things and things like that. And they came in and they talked about the various aspects, the various cost aspects of our system, which are extraordinarily complex, as you can imagine, and how that all works. So it's just been learning at this point, learning about the thing that we are going to be regulating, learning about the thing that we are going to be passing laws about. And I think that that is so important because, again, without understanding, you can't do a good job of trying to improve. So again, shout out to Lori and shout out to my fellow committee members for being so engaged. This is really, really dense information, as you can imagine, financial stuff and stuff about our healthcare system. Really dense information, but everyone is showing up. They're asking questions. They're thinking deeply about this stuff, and I really appreciate that from everyone I'm working with. And I also want to say in closing that if you are interested in anything that we are doing in the Vermont legislature, every single thing is online. Everything I see, it's online. It's on our website. Every presentation that they give us, it's online. It's on our website. Every meeting that we have is streamed live online on our website through YouTube. And so if you're interested in any issue that's going before the Vermont legislature, whether it's on healthcare or any other committee, any other thing that may be going on, all you have to do is go on the web, go to our website, click on the committee that you're interested in. You can read their agenda. You can read the presentations. They're all posted there. And then you can watch what's actually happening in real time. And all of those recordings are saved on YouTube. So if you couldn't watch it because you're at work or whatever, you can go on YouTube and you can look and you could try to find the thing that you're interested in. It's really great. And it's such a valuable thing to our state, that level of transparency. So anyone can see what we're seeing. Anyone can learn what we're learning. And anyone can contact us and tell us their opinions about that so we can talk about it and we can figure out, how we can make it better. Because only by having, as many voices as possible at the table, having the conversation, I think personally that we end up making good decisions. So check out the website. Keep up with my social media. I try to update every single day, at least one thing that I learned or one thing that's going on, just to keep people informed. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. And what person on YouTube can't finish a video without saying subscribe to my YouTube channel to keep up to date on these updates that I'll be doing. And as always, if you need anything, just reach out, email, messenger, phone, whatever it is. I'd love to talk to you about the things that you're interested in, and so we can continue the conversation. So thanks so much. Have a great weekend. Have a great week, and I'll see you next week.